it's Miss Melinda. Oh, I had to start my show all over again because it had too much in storage. Well, they just taught me I could delete my videos on my tablet and it won't delete on my YouTube channel. Melinda's, Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva Show. How's all my subscribers and fans doing tonight? Are you having a nice night, or are you having a nice afternoon? Whichever country you're in. Could be 12 in the afternoon, or it could be 5 in the afternoon. Okay, well, let's get this biology class started, okay? And then if we want to talk a little bit after class, we could do that maybe, okay? All right, let's get it. So, of course, what are we studying? Well, Miss Melinda always studies biology. Yeah. So we're going to study biology. Okay. All right. You with me? I got to fix my lipstick. All right. Oh, excuse me. Okay, you guys. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get the ball rolling here, okay? Okay. So here we are. See my embellishments, my shoulder silver embellishments? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Okay. So, acting without thinking. Sometimes the nervous system can work without the brain, as in a reflex arc. A reflex arc gives sensory nerves direct access to motor nerves so information can be transmitted immediately. When you touch a hot stove, your sensory nerves detect the excessive heat and instantly fire off a message to your motor nerves that says, quote, pull your hand away, unquote. And that reminds me of a lifetime story of mine. So here's a spontaneous life story. I was cleaning a house, and I was cleaning the stove, and I get real into it. And I took the top off of the stove, and it's a gas stove. Long story short, I took a wet rag and started scrubbing, and it electrocuted me and threw me back, and I was all alone in that house. I never been so scared in my life. It electrocuted me and knocked me back. Yeah, and that shocked me. I was so scared. I was really scared. Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to get my hair away from my embellishments. All right. So here's the next page. Okay. So the quote, motor nerves, unquote, the motor nerves called the proper muscles, quote, proper muscles, unquote. The motor nerves call the proper muscles into action to move your hand away before you can even think, quote, think about it, before you can even think about it. Yeah. Your brain comes into play after the fact when you sense the pain of the burn or think to yourself how silly it was to touch a hot stove top, in the first place. Okay? The next title is What a Sensation! Exclamation. The brain and the five senses. The brain is the master organ of the body in animals with a central nervous system because it takes in all the info received. It takes in all the info received by the animals. by the animal's sense organs and produces the appropriate responses, okay? The brain consists of three main parts, the forebrain, F-O-R-E, one word, the forebrain, one word, the midbrain, one word, midbrain is one word, and hindbrain, H-I-N-D, hindbrain, one word. And it doesn't have a the in that one. Oh, I'm down here. Here. Three main parts, the forebrain, uppermost part, the midbrain, middle brain, and the hindbrain. I think that's how you read it. Yeah, that's confusing. It says three main parts. Three main parts of the brain. And it says the forebrain, the midbrain, not the on this one, hindbrain, these three parts. But to the left of it, there's uppermost part, middle, that must be uppermost part to the midbrain, middle brain, might be, and the hindbrain, and lowermost part are farther organized into four major regions, okay? You guys with me? All right. We're just getting through these classes these days pretty quickly. For some people that might have felt like I was, joking around and taking too much time. I tried to kind of, I watch my own shows. And I keep getting better and better, and you see things that you do, and you say, well, this would be better this way, So I'm trying to stick kind of to teaching the class, but I do tell a spontaneous life story, like what just happened. We were talking about burning our finger on the stove, and it turned into me telling you spontaneously a life story of getting electrocuted by a wet stove. What is this hair? All right. So, these three parts are further organized into four major regions that we present in the following list. Okay? What a sensation! Exclamation. The brain and the five senses. Continue, okay? Okay? We have the cerebrum, also called the telencephalon. We know phalon, Phalon. Just watch the past 10 classes or 15, and we've had phalon constantly. Okay, so cerebrum, C-E-R-E, brum. B-R-U-M, also called the telencephalon, also called the telecephalon. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, okay? The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. Okay. Fix my blouse. Okay. My hair keeps going in the way. Okay. So the cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. Is responsible for conscious, period. It's located at the uppermost part of the brain and divided into left and right halves, which are called cerebral hemispheres. Period. Each cerebral hemisphere has four lobes, L-O-B-E-S. You should have heard of that word before. The cerebral hemisphere has four lobes named for the bones of the skull that cover them, frontal, parietal, P-A-R-I-E-T-A-L, Google it and go over the spelling and definition. Well, it's telling you definition right here. So, of the skull that cover them, frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital. Occipital. Okay, next. Okay. Processed. Okay. So, specific areas of the lobes. The specific areas of the lobes are responsible for certain functions such as concentration, speech recognition, memory, and so on. The next one's diencephalon, D-I-E-N-C-E, and our famous phalon, P-H-A-L-O-N. Google it for the spelling and pronunciation. You just say, pronunciate it, this word for me. Okay, so diencephalon, found at the center of the brain, The diencephalon is a structure that consists of the thalamus. We've all probably heard of the thalamus, T-H-A-L-A, M-U-S. So that consists of the thalamus and hypothalamus. The thalamus processes info going to and from the spinal cord. And the hypothalamus controls homeostasis. Watch all my biology classes and you'll learn homeostasis, all the most recent, and hypothalamus. Okay, so let me read this sentence because we lost track. The thalamus processes info going to and from the spinal cord, and the hypothalamus controls homeostasis by regulating hunger, thirst, sleep, body temperature, water, balance, and blood pressure. At the base of the hypothalamus is the pituitary gland. See, I've had that word before, so I'm pronouncing it correct. It says at the base of the hypothalamus is the pituitary gland, okay? That's how you say it. P-I-T, airy, A-R-Y, pituitary gland, which helps maintain homeostasis, okay? You guys with me? Okay? Alrighty. So, by secreting many important hormones. Okay, so that's the end of what I was saying. By secreting many important hormones. Watch this over and over. Okay, you with me? Here we go. We got the next part of your brain, cerebellum. I know all about that one. That controls your equilibrium and your balance to walk. Yeah, and if you injure that, you could go into seizures. And that's all I'm going to say about that part from my own head. But, okay, the cerebellum, which is found at the base of the brain, coordinates muscle functions such as maintaining normal muscle tone and posture. The next one's brainstem, located below the cerebellum, the brainstem is made up of three structures, the midbrain, the pons, P-O-N-S, and the medulla. Should have heard of medulla before. It's med, like med, M-E-D, U-U-L-L-A. So the brainstem is made up of three structures, the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla, and the oblongata, just how it sounds, oblongata, O-B, long, it's long, L-O-N-G, ATA, oblongata. The brainstem controls critical functions such as breathing and your heartbeat, such as breathing and your heartbeat, okay? Stay with me, guys. I'm already on page 7, okay? All right, let's keep going here. Bet you didn't know that the spinal cord is, the spinal cord is actually a continuation of the brain stem. You can thank me for this bit of knowledge when you ace that bonus question on your next biology test. I'm not saying that. That's what the book's saying. My notes are saying, not me, just so you know. If I give you a biology test, oh no, you better start watching all my videos for biology. That's the main thing, but watch the other classes too. Okay, so you can thank me for this bit of knowledge when you ace that bonus question on your next biology test. Miss Melinda might surprise you with a pop quiz one night. And if you don't pass it, you can't take this class anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. The human sense organs, hyphen, eyes, ears, tongue, skin, and nose, help to protect the body. Period. They're filled with receptors that relay info through sensory neurons to the appropriate places within the nervous system, okay? Each sense organ contains different receptors, okay? Each sense organ contains different receptors, okay? Remember that. All right, we've only got, I made this one a little extra long, so let me keep talking fast. All right, because I felt like I was cutting you guys too short. These last few have been only like 19 minutes. Well, now I'm getting a little too short, and then, you know, we're not going to get enough hourly watch time if I cut the classes too short, okay? Here's the title here. It's general receptors are found throughout the body. They present in skin, visceral, V like Victor, I like ice, S like Sam, C like cat, E like Edward, R like rat, and Al, somebody's name Al. So, general receptors are found throughout the body. They're present in skin, visceral organs. Okay, that's 2 words that are going together. Visceral organs. Visceral meaning in the abdominal cavity muscles and joints. Okay. The next one is special receptors. Include chemoreceptors. 1 word. Chemo, just like chemistry. CHEMO. Receptors. RECEPTORS. Special receptors include chemoreceptors, chemical receptors found in the mouth and nose. Okay, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, this is interesting. So in the mouth and nose, and then there's photoreceptors. So they're telling you all these receptors. This one's called photoreceptors. And in parentheses it says light receptors. So photoreceptors have light receptors found in the eyes, and then they have mechanoraptors. It's mechanoraptors. It's me and CHAN. So I don't know if it's Machen or Machan. Machen raptors. Google it. Okay. We have to move on. Movement, it's movement receptors. So you know, mechano receptors are they're movement receptors, okay? Found in the ears, okay? So get those words looked up, and you know, and this is more of these words. Now it's going to tell you the location of these receptors, okay? Types of receptors and their functions, okay? Receptor, okay? This column is going to be the receptor. Chemoreceptor, CHEMO receptor. One word, chemoreceptor. And there's mechanoreceptor, we were just talking about, mechanoreceptor, or mechanoreceptor, or maybe mechanoreceptor. I don't know how you do the che and the ish, the ch part, you know. So let's just say mechanoreceptor, and then osmoreceptor. These are all one words. Photoreceptor, proprioceptor, and this one's two words, the last one, stretch receptor. They made it two words. So the chemoreceptor function. Now we're going to do the function to all these receptors I just taught. So the chemoreceptor function detects chemicals in food and air. So your chemoreceptor, because it can tell things by chemicals. I was studying this when I was getting ready for you. And like when you get your taste buds, it can taste the chemicals of the food, something like that. You'll get to it. So chemoreceptor, the function, detect chemicals in food and air. And then the mechanoreceptor function detects movement of eardrum. Oh, interesting. See how important these words are that I'm teaching you? Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then the mechanoreceptor function detect movement of eardrum. Okay. Ossicle ear bones. Ossicles, O-S-S, icles, like bicycles, icicles, ossicles, O-S-S-I-C-L-E-S. Ossicles is ear bones, located in its function is the ear bones, okay? And we just have a couple more receptors. Okay, we only have like 3 more pages. You guys with me? Okay, stay with me. We only have 3 pages left, okay? All right. So the osmoreceptor function detect concentration of solutes in the bloodstream. Photoreceptor function detects light, which I already said, and stretch receptor function detect expansion or elongation of muscle tissue. And proprioceptor function detects positioning and movement of limbs, okay? And that is not the end of the class, but it's the end of receptors. Thank God. Thank God for that, right? Okay. So here we are. Oh, I got my brow showing a little bit. Okay. It's the best I could do, guys. There. Okay, here's the next. Okay, we only have 4 more pages. You with me? Okay? All right, here's the next label. We delve into the 5 senses in greater detail in the sections that follow, with a focus on how these senses operate in humans, okay? How these senses operate in humans. Okay, and it says ooh, so it's O-O-O-H. Ooh, comma, that smell, colon, olfaction. O-L, faction. Fact, like you got a fact to tell. And shine, so it's olfaction. That's easy. So the title of this is ooh, that smell, colon, olfaction, after the main title I just read you. Okay, now, if you walk in the door of your, and smell, if you walk in the door of your home and smell an apple pie baking and peppers and onions sauteing, how do you know that the apple pie is apple pie and that the pepper and onions are in fact peppers and onions and not eggplant and zucchini? The key lies in your olfactory cells. You can remember the name of these cells by thinking that they smell like old factory. You can remember the name of these cells by thinking that they, quote, smell like old factory. Okay? All right? Stick with me, guys. Come on. My hair out of the way. Okay. All right. That's okay like that. Okay. Here it is. They're responsible for your sense of smell. Okay? Olfactory cells line the top of your nasal cavity. They have cilia, which we've had that word 100 times. C-I-L-I-A. Okay. They have cilia on one end that project into the nasal cavity. On the other hand, on the other end, okay. On the other end, all right. On the other end, comma, they have olfactory, O-L and factory, it's one word. They have olfactory nerve fibers that pass through the bone in the roof of your nose. The ethmoid bone, it's in parentheses, the ethmoid bone, which is E-T-H, moid, M-O-I-D, oid. A lot of futuristic words we're using oid now. Oid has become a very future, highly used part of a word, oid, like humanoid, you know? Okay, so the ethmoid bone and into an area of your brain called the olfactory bulb, B-U-L-B, like a light bulb. As you breathe, comma, anything that's in the air you take in enters your nasal cavity. You don't smell air or dust or pollen. I never knew that, did you? But we smell the cooking in the air. I guess it's two different things. Okay, did you hear that, you guys? You with me? That's something new, surprising for me. It says you don't smell air or dust or pollen. Okay, but you do smell chemicals. The olfactory cells are chemoreceptors. I told you that earlier when I was teaching you chemoreceptors. So they can determine the smell of chemicals. See, I was just telling you that. The olfactory cells are chemoreceptors, which means they have protein receptors that can detect subtle, S-U-B-T-L-E, subtle differences. Detect subtle differences, okay? And, we're on our last page and a half. Are you listening, guys? Okay? And then you can all go do whatever it is you're doing, okay? Okay. Differences in chemicals. As you breathe upon walking into your kitchen, comma, the chemicals for the apple pie, comma, peppers and onions, waft, W-A-F-T. Never heard of the word. You'll have to Google the definition. So waft into your nasal cavity. There, the chemicals bind to the cilia, C-I-L-I-A, generating a nerve impulse that carries through the olfactory cells into the olfactory nerve fiber, okay, into the olfactory nerve fiber, up to the olfactory bulb, B-U-L-B, like a light bulb, and then to the part of the brain that processes smells, the olfactory cortex, in parentheses. It's just the part of the brain that processes smells, parentheses, the olfactory cortex. Your brain that determines what you're smelling. If the scent is something you smelled before and are familiar with, your brain recalls the info that has been stored in your memory. And we have just 4 more sentences. Are you listening? Okay. If you're sniffing something that you haven't experienced before, comma, you haven't experienced before, comma, okay, you need to use another sense, comma, such as taste or, I can't read that word, sight, like your eyesight, okay, such as taste or sight, your eyesight, S-I-G-H-T, comma, to make an imprint, I-M, print, to make an imprint on your brain's memory. That's the end of the class. So, were you able to follow it pretty well? Were you able to follow it and understand, except for the hard words? Just like I said, if you don't know how to Google, just pull up a file, have somebody help you. I guess you could do it on a cell phone, because I think most people, I don't know, I'm assuming my fans are all watching me on cell phones, which I hate. But you should be able to, now I forgot what I was saying, do whatever it is. Okay, so I love all my subscribers and fans and students, and I would like you all to have a good night and have a good week. You're still just on Tuesday, and have a good week, and we will see you next class. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and watch as many of my shows as you can, because I only have 4.5 months left, and then I have to have a total of 3,000 valid public watch hours. I'm at 2,429, so I need like 500 and something hourly watch time. So, well, the biology, you should be watching the whole classes, but you know, if you have to leave, you leave. I can't stick all the time through a whole class. You come back to it, you know. But go to all my old ones. They're just as good as the new ones, no different. And if you could give me, 20 minutes in one video and 20 minutes another, a half hour in one, 15 here, 15 there, as much hourly watch to support Miss Melinda and Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva Show. If I don't hurry up, and I would like to get these last 500 and something public watch time, means you guys have to be watching my videos. If I could hurry up and finish it, I could get it done in 3 months, and I could start making money, because my money's getting really low on my diva costumes here and everything else I have to do in life, So, and also, if you can, make comments, nice, sweet ones, short ones. But if you ever want to talk about something within reason, you could talk. But it is one of my requirements that my fans talk underneath the videos, and I respond, and I do respond to as many as I can. Okay, so I love all my subscribers and fans, and watch my shows, and I will see you next time, okay? Okay, good night.